We've all heard it. Strength training makes you a faster runner. Stronger glutes, stronger calves, better power, fewer injuries. So we add it in. And yet, why does it still feel like it's not helping? Why do we still feel more sore all the time? Why does it feel like it's stealing energy from our runs? Why do we start strong and then quietly stop doing it? And if that's been frustrating, that actually makes sense because most of us aren't failing at strength. We're just missing one thing. I've been on both sides of this as an athlete who overdid strength completely, and now as a runner and coach who integrates it very differently. This video isn't about doing more strength, and it's not about shaming anyone who loves lifting. I have one promise to you. By the time you finish this video, you'll understand why strength often doesn't transfer to running, what mistake most runners are actually making, and how to structure it so it supports you running instead of competing with it. We'll break this into 3 parts. Number 1, why strength sometimes backfires. Number 2, the real mistake most runners make. And number 3, how I apply it now in my own training and with my athletes. And if you stick with me, I'll explain the exact shift that made strength finally feel productive instead of draining. Let's get into it. Here's something we don't talk about enough. Running is not a general strength sport. Running is a highly repetitive, elastic, sub-maximal sport. Every step is a controlled plyometric. Tendons store and release energy. The neuromuscular system becomes efficient at specific patterns. So when we do strength training, that creates excessive muscle damage or huge DOMs or neural fatigue. We're not building running specific resilience. We're just adding fatigue. And fatigue masks fitness. And there's actually strong evidence in endurance literature that heavy strength can improve running economy. But dosage matters. Studies show improvement in running economy when strength is low to moderate volume, high quality, explosive or neuromuscularly focused, and integrated properly with endurance load, not when it turns into a second sport. And this is where I made my mistake. Before I started running seriously, I was lifting 3 to 5 times per week. Heavy, high reps, always pushing. Then I started running, and instead of just adjusting strength, I just layered running on top. Because I heard strength training is so important for runners, and women need more strength training. So in my head, more work equals more progress. I didn't struggle with soreness much because I was constantly in that state. But I also had 6 stress fractures in this period, and I was told, great, keep your strength training without anyone looking into what I was doing, when I was doing it, and how much I was doing. So what my coach highlights now is simple. Strength is secondary to running. It supports it. It does not compete with it. And that shift changed everything. The mistake is not skipping one session. The mistake is not having a system. Without a system, strength becomes optional, emotional, inconsistent, and ego-driven instead of strategic. Most runners fall into one of 3 patterns. No strength at all, random strength when they feel motivated, or doing CrossFit or high rocks intensity on top of marathon training without facing. So the problem isn't discipline. The problem is integration. And I see this constantly with ambitious athletes. They follow the running plan no matter what, but strength floats around without structure. Or they try to win the strength session and then wonder why their legs feel flat during workouts. Here's how I think about strength now. First, strength has a purpose. If I'm training for a marathon, my strength looks different than if I'm training for a 5K. The adaptation target changes. Second, strength volume must match total running load. If I'm running 120 to 130 kilometers per week, I cannot lift like I'm in an off-season hypotrophy block. It's 20 to 30 minutes, targeted, specific, not to failure, because running is a primary adaptation we're chasing. Third, placement matters. And this is where it gets more nuanced than hard days hard or easy days easy, because it depends. It depends on your race distance, your total running volume, how intense your quality sessions are, and how much fatigue your strength work actually creates. A 5K runner doing high neuromuscular work doesn't structure strength the same way as someone deep in a marathon block running 130 kilometers per week. The fatigue cost is different, the adaptation target is different, the margin of error is different. So instead of asking, should I do strength on hard days or easy days, the better question is, what is my primary goal right now? And what does this strength session cost me? If strength is light, specific, and low fatigue, it can live on an easy day. If strength is heavier or more demanding, it has to be placed strategically so it doesn't compete with the key run sessions. And when I'm feeling off, so higher internal stress, poor sleep, hormonal fluctuations, I reduce strength first. Not because strength doesn't matter, but because running is a priority. That's discipline, not squeezing more in. And this is actually why I built my strength programs the way I did, because I realized most runners don't need more exercises. We need structure. We need to know what to do, when to do it, how much to do, and how it fits into the running load. So my strength programs aren't random gym workouts. They're structured by race distance, because a 5K runner and a marathoner should not be doing the same strength work. They're designed to complement my heart rate-based running programs, meaning the volume, placement, and fatigue costs are considered. I built them together with a running physical therapy clinic that works specifically with runners, not to make them hard, but to make them integrated, because strength should support your running, not compete with it. So if strength hasn't felt like it's helping you, chances are you don't have a system for it yet. And that's exactly what I wanted to solve. And this isn't just preference. It's not just my personality. There's actual physiology behind why this matters. Studies on concurrent training show that when high volume endurance work is combined with high volume strength work, performance gains can be reduced if the load isn't structured properly. It's called the interference effect. Not because strength is bad, but because your body has limited recovery capacity. It adapts to what you prioritize. If strength becomes too heavy, too frequent, or poorly placed in the week, it can compete with your running adaptation instead of supporting it. So the question isn't, should we lift? It's what dose helps my running without stealing from it. And that's a strategic lens. And once I actually understood that, everything changed. The shift for me wasn't just doing less strength. It was asking, where am I holding myself back? For me, that meant trying to win the strength session, lifting like strength was a goal, pushing weight instead of supporting my running. But for you, it might be the opposite. Maybe you skip strength because you feel tired. Maybe you think it has to be 60 minutes or it doesn't count. Maybe you feel sore once and decide it's not worth it. Maybe you don't fully trust that it's helping, so it becomes optional. In all of those cases, the root issue is the same. There isn't a system you trust. When strength is emotional, it becomes inconsistent. When it's structured, it becomes strategic. And that's the shift. Strength stopped being something I reacted to and started being something I placed intentionally. And now it feels like insurance, not punishment. Now it supports my running instead of competing with it. And that's when consistently finally stuck. If strength hasn't been helping your running the way you expected, it's probably not because you're not working hard enough. And it's probably not because strength doesn't work. It's usually because it hasn't been structured around your actual goal. Strength isn't the problem. The way it's integrated might be. Once you're clear on what your race demands, how much running load you're carrying, where strength fits in the week, and how much fatigue you can actually absorb, everything changes. Strength stops feeling like a second sport. It starts feeling like support. That was the shift for me. And if you like this video, I think you'll love my video on why your legs get tired before your lungs, because that's where I break down durability and how it connects to all of this. And if you want a strength structure that's already built around race distance and designed to complement my heart rate-based running, I've linked my programs below. Remember, it's not about adding more, it's about being intentional. That's how progress becomes sustainable.